un poquito con la misión principal, que la tenemos muy abandonada. Y para acabar, como viene siendo habitual, tiradita al gachapón, a ver si conseguimos a Albedo. Entonces, bueno, vamos aquí a la misión principal, que es entrar en el nivel inferior desde el hospital. Si os acordáis, dice que se oían llantos y gritos y tal en ese nivel. Entonces vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. ¿Qué tal estáis? Espero que estéis muy bien. Ya sabéis, como os digo siempre, que si os está gustando, pues hombre, podéis parar un instante para dejarme likes, comentarios, suscribiros, darle a la campanita, compartir el vídeo, contactarme por las redes sociales, que las tenéis por ahí arriba, etc, etc. Pum, 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 pum. Entonces esto era entrar por aquí e investigar. Research. Aquí había esto. Vale, con cuidadito que no sabemos. Con cuidadito que no sabemos lo que nos vamos a encontrar. Aviso de urgencia. Paciente. Bárbaro, intestino lunar en el área izquierda frente zurdo. Claro, porque esto era un hospital en su día. Comida de esta semana. Uf, ¿nos vas a dar todos los días de la semana? Madre mía. Esto es lo mismo.
Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and
Ah, digo, no me digas que es un zombie. Digo, no me digas que tenemos un zombie aquí en el hospital este.
Grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
Es verdad, si en la misión esta estábamos con el alacén este. Y que hace tanto que no la retomo
He's
que
Razak,
no me acordaba.
a senior of mine at the academia.
Razak.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach such... Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own, even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and the notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under some—
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an
Resource? For what
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
extracted? You mean, canned knowledge comes from people's
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. Or perhaps, his curiosity got the better of him, and he—
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder. The academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean, you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress,
Sounds like you're really against all this.
of course. The academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Bueno, pues después de esta cortita conversación, vamos a... Regresa a la casa del jefe de la aldea Aru para encontrarte con los demás. Bueno, vale, pero antes de eso, déjame un segundo, que explore. O esto ya lo hemos explorado. No, esto es lo que... Aquí llegamos antes. Había unos libros ahí, no sé qué. Esto es cubertería. O sea que no hay nada más, ¿no? Llave antigua. Ah, esta llave es la del cofre, que está ahí arriba. Ti, tiqui, tiqui, ti. Hostia, es una pista del tesoro, dice. Madre mía. La voz divina me guía. Número de resonancia de la estructura topográfica interna de las dunas. Bueno, yo no voy a leer esto entero ahora, lo siento mucho. Antes de que yo quiera. Bueno, pues nada, pues parece ser que hay que regresar a la casa consistorial. Dejadme un segundo que mire por aquí. Que no se nos quede ningún cofre ni nada de eso. Porque si ya no vamos a volver por aquí, pues estaría bien. Estaría bien. El niño de la capea anunció en el centro de Estudio de Nueva York. De Chicago. Y ese no se podría... Ese no se podría... Eso no se puede romper, ¿no? ¡Hostias! Coño, que no se puede romper. Joder, es que he visto esas piedras ahí y digo, a ver si... Haciendo una caída... Hostia, pero a ver cómo salimos ahora, tú. Que hemos caído muerto. Bueno. Bueno, pues yo qué sé. Lo dejamos de momento y ya vendremos a investigar. Lo digo porque si no, no vamos a hacer la misión principal, que es lo que he dicho desde el principio, que le íbamos a dar un poco a la misión principal. Es que esto... Yo no sé si es una esta de tesoros o qué. Uff, mira todo lo que hay ahí. Madre mía. Buah, y enemigos y todo. Y sigue por ahí luego, ¿no? No. Nada, vamos a seguir con la misión principal porque es que si no, no la hacemos. O sea, vamos a volver a la aldea Aru esa. La aldea del Arce. Y esto nos lo dejamos pendiente por aquí para investigar en próximos... Ah, mirad. Esta misión hay que hacerla también. Dominio huracanado. Ha aparecido y te da 20 protogemas y dice que el tiempo restante son 12 días. Así que, como vamos a tirar al gachapón y vamos a llegar a 34, en el próximo vídeo, para finalizarlo, nos vamos a comprar a un personaje, que me parece que se puede comprar a Razor, y si queréis hacemos esta misión del dominio huracanado y nos venimos a explorar estas ruinas, a ver qué es lo que tienen, si os parece bien. Así que eso es lo que vamos a hacer en el próximo. De momento en este nos vamos a volver aquí a la aldea Aru.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the academia's site for...
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since divine cant and knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village. Almost...
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino. You're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Cyno's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Cyno isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules.
Nyagarba. Madre mía.
I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Cyno adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Cyno, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the academia is trying to avoid Cyno, then this... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you! Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
La Deiva, que se ha ido, ¿no? A mitad de la conversación. Nos ha parecido ver. ¿Y tú no vienes, waifu? Vente conmigo, Candace. Vente conmigo, niño, por el romero en flor.
I'll be awaiting your good news.
Vente conmigo. ¿Qué vas a hacer aquí sola? Te vas a aburrir. Y usted no hablo con usted, que seguro que me cuenta alguna historia. Que sois todos unos películas en este juego. Sois todos unos peliculeros. Vale, pero a eso hay que escalar y hay que subir. Casi mejor que nos vamos a venir aquí. Y vamos a saltar desde esa montañica, desde esta montaña elevada, hacia ya. Y llegamos muchísimo antes por aquí. Y más si aprovechamos estos. No. Bueno, está siendo, como todas las misiones del Arconte, de mucha conversación y mucha cinemática, pero bueno.
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
Sigue Acino.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
Te sigo, Cino. Me acaban de dar 100 moras.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there, looks like it's buried really deep.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Vale. Pues comencemos a acabar.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of...
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Rezac didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
But running on sand is so tiring.
Si tú no corres.
But
tú flotas.
you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
¿En serio?
Of course it is.
Pero tú no te pares, Cino. Si yo te voy siguiendo. Tú vete a tu ritmo y no te preocupes.
Voices, over there.
No te preocupes por mí.
It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru Village.
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself, I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million...
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, dude?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but...
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself.
an arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He's...
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Madre mía, que le corta el brazo de verdad. Interesante plano. Se quedan todos aquí.
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my...
A que le estaba poniendo a prueba, ¿no? Como
You
diosa.
show me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
No, a Job no. Job era el que le pasaban muchísimas cosas. Y nunca se quejaba hasta que un día se quejó y entonces le dijo Dios, ¿y dónde estabas tú cuando yo creaba el mundo? No, ¿a quién fue el que le dijo que matara a su hijo? ¿A Abraham? Abraham fue, ¿no?
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Igual, y cuando estaba a punto de matarle, apareció un ángel y le dijo, no lo hagas, Dios lo ha hecho para ponerte a prueba, y tu obediencia.
Was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry, but sometimes when you're out on a limb...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of that. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run.
Bueno, yo creo, y lo dije anteriormente, y lo vuelvo a decir, que el jefe de este capítulo va a ser el Escolari ese, o como se llame, el Stratachela ese, o como se llame. Pues en fin, la vamos a dejar por aquí, la misión, vamos a hacer la tiradita al gachapón, y en el siguiente vamos a hacer lo que hemos dicho. La misión esa de el gran tornado, me parece que se llama, o algo así, que ha aparecido. y a investigar las ruinas esas del hospital. Así que nada, gente, vamos a hacer la tiradita, a ver si hay suerte hoy. Como podéis ver, no tengo las 1600, pero tengo 3 deseos que me han dado por una serie de... Entonces se puede ya, porque te dice que dice necesitas 1120. Como tenemos 1143, vamos a tirar. Uy, no, aquí no quiero yo tirar, que yo prefería albedo. Albedo, pedir 3 deseos. Bueno. Cinco llevamos. 7. Qué emoción, quedan 3, qué emoción, quedan 3, quedan 3. 8. Pues quedan 2 y de momento no ha salido nada de 4 estrellas. Bárbara. Bueno. Vale. Lo bueno es eso, que nos han dado de esto. Y además ahora tenemos 34. Lo que hemos dicho, en el próximo acabamos el S y compramos un personaje. Vamos a mirarle la constelación a Bárbara, a ver qué se le puede, en qué mejora. Canción de júbilo. Dice: Bárbara regenera un punto de energía elemental cada 10 segundos. Eso está bien, porque es bueno que tenga la energía elemental, porque así digamos que así se le activa antes la curación final, su ulti. De hecho, yo a Bárbara le tengo puesto en artefactos, le tengo puesto el del exiliado, ¿ves? Que es que con 2 piezas recargas un 20% más rápido la energía elemental. Concreto es este, ¿no? Sí, lo de bolsillo del exiliado y cáliz del... Ah, no, del aventurero. La pluma esta es la del exiliado, creo. Sí. Pero, y el reloj de bolsillo, ahora que lo estoy viendo, no tendremos uno morado, ¿no? Reloj de bolsillo del exiliado, del milagro, del berserker, instructor, berserker. Mira, exiliado, pues este se le vamos a poner. Y además, mira, recarga energía, qué guay. Bueno, lo voy a subir al 8. Eso ya lo hago yo fuera de cámara ahora. Así que nada, gente, espero que os haya gustado. Nos vemos en el próximo. Sed buenas, sed felices. Un saludín, chao, chao.